It's Mike Borah with the Mike Borah Real Estate Team in Orlando, Florida. Mike and I have been coaching together for a while. We now are not coaching, so I thought it'd be a perfect time to talk with him about what's going on in his life and his team and give you some perspectives on the way that he set up his current business. So we're going to start out, Mike, with talking about, have you heard the quote? I think it was a Bill Gates quote that usually what you do is you overestimate what you can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 5 years.
I haven't heard that, but I do believe that. As salespeople, we typically like to aim high and go for some things that may be not obtainable, i.e. stretch goal. But if you do that stretch goal over and over and over, you're still going to have success and be better than you thought you could be. So
Exactly. And I've been on this tyrant lately about consistency and not getting immediate results. Can you relate? Like, so you take on a new project and you don't get immediate results, and then here comes a new magic answer.
yeah, we're always looking for that new shiny object to make our life easier and better. But what I've learned is stick to some foundations that you will stay with, work through them, and make an investment into it. And I don't look at anything. There's no magic return. It has to be at least a minimum of a year to see if it's actually working.
I love that. I was talking, I don't know if you've ever heard of Mike Sherrard, but he's a guy he's a very young guy, and he's a celebrity on YouTube. And he said the first year he had no results. He just kept on putting content over and over and over. And I was talking to another guy, and he was calling expireds for a year before he started getting results. And when he got results, it started to be like an avalanche almost because he put in the time.
And that's what it is. It's investment in yourself, investment into the process, investment into truly the success that you're looking for. Every day in real estate, we don't have immediate results. Even if you had a contract today, it's 45 to 60 days before you're actually going to see the closing of a project. So I have to look at everything else that I'm trying to build that business to give it a good year before I really beat it up and say this is working or not working.
I know you're a big thinker from being in a relationship with you for several years. I know you think big. If you could think out right now to where you want to be in 5 years, have you thought of that?
I have a 5-year goal. I have goals basically between every year between now and 10 years, which I plan on to kind of slow down. And my goal is to continue to grow it, to monetize it as best I can. Along the way, 10 years from now, I would like to really take a step back and just do whatever I want, not show up to work. But I have built systems where I can actually do that, and people are being taken care of, and we've built a business that doesn't need me to be involved every day.
Fantastic. So you see yourself in 5 to 10 years is stepping back, but the systems continue on. And so the people that are in place will bring the income, and you'll be free to travel and do some of the things that you've been maybe not doing now.
Right. My 5-year plan is to slowly get to the 10-year plan, basically maybe take a day off and let someone handle it. And then the next year, 2 days off, 3 days off, and just go in every, a periodic basis and see where they need help strategy wise, motivation wise, whatever. But the business runs the business. The people in the business get monetized for that. I'll be taking less, but they will be getting more because they're really putting it in. Even if if I pass away, my estate would have some income, and people are in place, and either my estate buys out the business or continues as an income source.
One of the most important decisions of our career is how to exit with an exit strategy. So I know that we worked on that, and I know you've been thinking about that, which is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know you hadn't always been in real estate. Where did you start, and how did you get into real estate?
That building right behind on top of my head, that's a Bank of America building. I was a corporate international banker for 30 years. And the corporate grind got to be too much. And it was time for me to find another opportunity. Honestly, I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought maybe buy a franchise or something like that. But a friend of mine ran a very successful real estate team. And he said, Mike, come in, let's have a cup of coffee. I had the skill set, I have the people skills, I have the thought process, solution selling, that kind of thing, all in my DNA. But what really helped was I didn't know really much how residential and commercial real estate worked, and he took me underneath his arm and showed me the way. You have to surround yourself with good people, good mentors, coaches to get where you want to go, and you have to be honest with yourself and say you don't know it all. And that's exactly what I did. I worked with a guy named Matt Davies who had a very high producing team that was doing investor real estate before all the Wall Street companies started buying homes and renting them out. He was doing that years ahead of time.
Got it. So how long ago was that?
I started in 2014. So he already had a group that was focused on that. And my focus wasn't in on that business at all, even though I saw it all. I was focused on the fundamentals, the buying and selling real estate for individuals. And that's
I
where
know
I've
that
been.
before the call, we were kind of talking about what has been your evolution all the way to where you are now.
Well, going into a team, my team lead said basically, you'll probably be here 2 to 3 years. You'll get it figured out and you'll go out on your own. I lasted 3.5 years. And again, there was no set schedule or anything like that. It just got to the point where I saw an opportunity, felt confident in myself that I knew as much as I could go. And I want to say, I want to create a team, not to compete, but just to build that wealth that he was making off of other people. I soon realized that that model really wasn't going to be for me. When I say soon, it took me 2 or 3 years to really build a team, finding out what it takes, the investment in systems, the investment in people, the investment in time. And I felt that if I didn't hire the right people, and if I hired the right people, they wouldn't be with me much longer either way. So a team for me was not. It was hard for me to just to take that dream and say I want to build a team, and find out that that's not exactly what I did. So I pivoted and created a group, which is a little bit different than a team.
And we were talking about that before, and I have heard several people on webinars talking about this. A team is not for everyone. Being a team leader is not for everyone. And sometimes it is not as profitable as you think it's going to be. How do you feel about that?
And through coaching, they were said team, 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 and that's where the trajectory was going in our business. And I bought into that. But once you get into it, again, hiring real estate salespeople are independent contractors. They're not employees. So you don't hire and fire them like you could, and they're not trying. You get to provide value to them in order to grow, and that most of that revenue is going right to the team lead, which was I was all in for. But the bottom line was I couldn't get the agents to have the same mindset and the same energy and commitment to the business that I did.
Mhm.
And so I found out real quick that everyone else had higher priorities and different things in life, whether it be their families, whether it be their other businesses or whatever things they had. They just didn't have the same focus that I did, and that was very difficult for me being a team lead. And then if you had anybody good, then they would leave the team and start on their own, which you make that investment, and it's hard emotionally to build up someone and then see them grow and fly away, and you're not going to get anything from it. So from a team standpoint, it really wasn't for me for just having the modern team.
And for me as well, I mean, I was a very successful single agent, thought the next step would be a team, built a team, and that wasn't as profitable as I was as a single agent. Then I decided to buy a franchise, which really wasn't as profitable. So now I'm back to a whole different, and it sounds like it's a similar kind of situation that you're in. You still like to be around people and you still like to have that coaching, leadership, contribution to others. You still want to coach, do all those things, right?
Correct. Yes.
So how do you set that up?
Well, I shifted to from a team to a group, and I define a group as being I provide a service to other agents. I provide a service from the social media, marketing, transaction management, database management. I provide the system. So any agent who wants to work with me, not like a team, they're still independent. I give them referrals, and they have access to the system to get referrals, and they work those. And if it works out and they're enjoying that, then great, they continue to work with me. If they don't, they don't. But my true team is my ops. I have someone who runs our social media. I have someone who runs the database full time. I have someone who is an inside sales agent calling on leads that come in to make sure that right away people are being taken care of and following up on those who are looking at our website. And then I have someone who does a lot of the admin functions, transaction management, etc. So an agent has many balls to throw up in the air. And honestly, that doesn't generate revenue. What generates revenue is actually sales. So those agents need to be focusing on the sales. So
Love
I
it.
need to have these people around me so I could focus on sales. And now I'm just trying to find a way to monetize that for other agents.
I love that. Fantastic. So something that's near and dear to my heart is when I was back coaching, I thought that I would start some mastermind groups. And there were, I guess, about between 5 and 10 people that I wanted to do a pilot project with. And you were one of those people. Talk to me about that mastermind group, how it started, and where it is today, and why you think it was successful.
Well, it has been a success, and it's made me. It's one thing I look forward to every Monday morning we get together. It started about 15 people throughout the country, people that were your coaching clients that you thought was a good fit. After time, and everyone were in different stages. Some people were brokers that were looking to hire agents. Some people were single agents just trying to make it through. But at the end of the day, we have 7 people in our mastermind. We get together for an hour. We have a topic. We let everyone know our goals to be focused on. So we hold each other accountable, and we are there to help if someone gets stuck on some things. And then we also bring value from if someone's being coached from what they're hearing from their coach, from different ideas or things that are working or not working in their marketplace. For instance, I'm in Florida, so we've been the leader in understanding the ins and outs of insurance on homes. It's been terrible, and I've given everybody else a heads up on that, and now they're starting to see that in other parts of the country. The mastermind is awesome. Matter of fact, we've added a little 10-minute version of a book club. So we pick a book, we take 50 pages at a time, and kind of have someone lead and break down that book. So it helps us focus on getting through these books that help your business, help your mindset, or whatever, to keep us top of mind. Where we all have these books, but they sometimes sit there and collect dust. This time we are forced to read it and add our opinion. So a nice book club is just a little part of it. With the lawsuits that happen in Kansas City, and everyone's getting information from their different brokerages, pulling that information together and seeing how people are doing it now and plan on doing it has been very helpful and very calming. Where sometimes your brokerage just haven't said anything yet because they haven't figured it out. But 15 of the 50 states have already have these buyer agreements, and some of the people in these masterminds have been using them for years. Where in Florida, they were available, but no one really used it. The market didn't really appreciate it. Now we will.
Well, there are a lot of masterminds that get started and don't continue on. Y'all have been going strong. What do you think causes this particular group to keep on showing up every Monday and getting stronger and stronger?
I think we are a giving group. We give and take to each other. There's 7 of us. There was 15, and because of everyone's different directions or different focus, 8 of those people basically went on their own way. They weren't kicked out or anything, but the ones who were getting the majority of the information that was really helped us, there's some very strong personalities. Every one of us could run that group, but no one dares to do it because no one can talk for more than 5 minutes without someone saying, I'm going to put some things in. And everyone's prepared. It became a support group for that person who is going through some major family issues. Did we get what we wanted out? No, but we have, it's basically it's an extended family where we can share. We don't compete against each other. So we're there to help each other. And again, we really care. We care for one another, and it's been strong because you have to give.
It's more of a support group than an accountability group. Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, we all have different goals. You as our coach was always about health. We don't talk much about health, even though everyone brings it up, but it's not anything that we track. One person needs to have hour of power, accountability. One needs to make sure that she has at least 3 things that are in the pipeline that either are in contract, uh, a listing, or working with a buyer. Always has
So
to
you
have.
do. Every
Yeah.
week you track who's done
Well,
what.
that's the thing. We tried tracking, but everyone has something different. But everyone has basically 5 minutes to say, this was my goal for last week. This
Oh, I
is
love it.
it
Yeah.
did. So it's not the same thing. It's different for everybody. One person was very unorganized, and look, this week I'm going to get organized, and she did. So she doesn't want to come back to this accountability and say I didn't do it, because we'll tell her, what's your excuse? There's no excuse.
I think you've been one of the
Good people.
key people to keep that group together and support everybody. And I think that goes into a question I have to you about your strengths. What do you think your strengths are?
No, it sounds kind of corny, but I care. Anything I get involved in, or I spend my time in, as I care. I put all of me into it. Again, I've taught myself through my career to think in different ways. When I was doing corporate international banking, this was before internet and things like this, where you had to figure out how to solve issues, and that's what we do here in real estate. You have to deal with people. Those are 2 things I think I'm a good problem solver. I see, and then you negotiate. I don't try to negotiate where we have to win everything. I just want to have a fair deal and make sure everyone feels like they won something. And the last thing is, it's not about me. It isn't. It's about others. It's about my client. It's about my partner. Everybody else. I get great enjoyment from helping others and being of value.
I love it. What would you say? I don't want to say your weaknesses, but what are the things that if you didn't have to do, you would never do again?
So I hate paperwork. I'm great at the planning stage,
Mhm.
but actually getting that thing done, that paperwork done, unless it's a contract, unless it's something monumental, I can find something else to do that I enjoy doing. That's why I have to hire someone who is a completely opposite of me, who absolutely loves doing paperwork, and give them a checklist and they want to check. I want to be that person. I'm just not. Again, you got to know who you are, appreciate who you are, and build on the strengths. And then on the weaknesses, either you give up and hire to replace that, or just know that you don't do that. And that's knowing yourself and being honest with yourself is so important.
Exactly. Now, why do you love learning and going to big groups and hearing wonderful speakers and being involved in coaching? What's important to you about that?
I've always been a big learner. There's always something new to learn. I've never thought that I was the smartest guy in the room, and I always can learn. And I like to give, but I also learn a lot. And oh, that's a great idea. So I get excited when I hear something that I've not heard before, or something that's really sharp, or some little small hack. You can go on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, and someone comes up with a hack, and you're like, oh, that is so simple. So I get excited about something. I love smart and efficient, and then you're around like people who want to learn too. So you're around like-minded. No, it's not like when you're in school. Oh, I'm forced to go to math class. I hated math class. Sorry, Uncle Mike and Aunt Sandy, math teachers. But again, because I didn't embrace the product. But when you're going there and learning about something that you're passionate about, whether it be real estate, whether it be mindset, what about getting healthy, things like, you're around other people who have that same energy. And that's what I love, is the energy and learning new things.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. What have I not asked you that you wanted to talk about today? Anything?
No, I think, yeah, I guess there is one. Our industry is changing, and change is always good, but it's going to be massive. And there are the point of entry into our industry is so easy that we have maybe too many people in there who are making things harder than it should be. It's not a hard thing, but it is a professional skill set. Uh, you're dealing with people's most most important thing, their home, where that's where their memories are made, or the financial part of a home, which is one of their probably their biggest assets. So there's a lot of anxiety. So we want to make sure the right people are helping make sure things get done right. And we got to keep the people out. I mean, we're still the people business. There's some people that are just not competent. There are some people that are self-serving, and they're the people who just do cut corners. And we don't need those people in our industry. We need very clean, honorable transactions. And again, because of a lack of education, lack of skill set, or lack of morals, we have issues in our industry. And that's probably the one thing that I wish I hope that it will be cleaned up going forward.
Fantastic. Well, it is amazing to see you, my dear. And thank you so much for agreeing to take your time out today to talk with me. And you tell that mastermind group I miss them. And is there anything else you want to end up on?
No, no, yes. How's this? If you're in Florida, Central Florida, or in Orlando area, please give us a call, Mike Borah at Mike Borah Group. We would
I
love
love
to
it,
help you
babe.
out.
Love it, love it. It's a beautiful spot, isn't it?
It is, and it's 70 some degrees right now here in January, and come enjoy.
I know. We'll see you later, Mike.
All
Great.
right, take care. Thank you so much.